Hello, friends and strangers, and welcome back to Hellas Us, Part 5. We're, well, somewhat abruptly stopped last time in Visa Hills? And we found our father, which was definitely not the reunion I expected. But that also gave us a new investigation. Our family reunion is complete, which honestly I find quite interesting. Like, we found our father, okay. We found out that he is part of the Vigils, which is a secret organization trying to protect Hadia from some calamity, which we're not entirely sure even how it happens or how we can stop it, but now we're trying to do that to take over the mission of our father. But it's like, before passing away, Vitalis said that my mother is dead. That's all the information we have, and it's now just updated. It's like, yep, that's a fact. I don't know. I kind of don't believe that completely. We also still have something here that we don't know, the journalist, which also makes me think, like, I don't think this is just done now. And the Weeping Knight statue, it looks like an ambush was waiting for the vigils at the Weeping Knight statue. Yeah, we've saw that, the Omsev soldier, well, one was alive. So that definitely, they knew about it. They were waiting here, and one of them even told us to, like, go and finish it. But yeah, I find it a bit weird that we're not really... We're like, yep, this is completed. And it's like, is it? Okay, the journalist also has something to do with the family legacy. And we have the keystone, which is the only thing we now have to, like, have any idea of what to do. And honestly, so far it's like, what does it do? The only thing we know is, like, it's an ancient artifact embedded with the symbol of grief, given to us by our father. And it's important, and that's it. So far, a lot of this is not giving us a full picture. There's a lot of stuff missing, some things not entirely really fleshed out. And I hope that we're going to find some answers at some point. Also, this looks exactly like the snake that was over there. So does that, and there's a door in it. That makes me question, like, is this natural, or did somebody make it? When I first saw the snake, I definitely was like, yep, somebody probably made that, but now I'm like, I don't know. This could absolutely be something else. But well, we have a completely new area to explore, and as we saw last time, sometimes there is perfect. Like this, little stuff hidden away in a tiny corner that you may not look at all. Pill bottle. Atenolol. I've never heard that one, and probably pronounced that incorrectly. Bottle of pills with a prescription filled for Diana Cause. Found inside abandoned luggage in Visa Hills. It is Visa Hills, okay. 50 mg prescribed as treatment for heart conditions such as angina, arrhythmia, or high blood pressure. Part of a good deed that we started. I was like, oh, we need the pills for that one soldier, but I guess we're now trying to get that back to the person it actually belongs to. There's Bob 2. I don't know. I accidentally called the first one Bob, and now I kind of want to stick with it. stagger for long. Which is not like it's like the biggest problem ever. It's not like, oh god, oh no, but it's like, I'm just not used to it. And I kind of want to go back down and actually like look at that person again if they have something to say, but there is no direct way down right now. More of the hand walkers that I still find fascinating. Are you all connected? Well, no. Yes, yes. As we learn, yeah, the group fights are still a bit janky. Oh, we're at the mine. Okay. And we have another time loop that, let's be honest, we can't enter. Yeah. I still didn't really go back to the other one. I have to do that still. I was just about to say, oh, you're actually alone and don't have a haze. No, but you have another friend. That might even be worse. You just do a quick double attack. They're even worse. No, like seriously, I hate the ranged enemies so far. They are really not nice. A snake symbol. Or probably more like a serpent. Inside of the weird serpent-looking thing, yeah? Definitely some kind of symbolism here. Oh. I like these little things around here symbolizing the Time Loop Guardians. Oh. Okay, that looked like you could actually run around, but apparently no. Could that be like an indicator of like how many you have left? Could be quite interesting to figure out if you can or cannot enter. If this area doesn't take too long, which let's just be honest, it probably will, I would love to go back to the other time loop and figure out what's going on with that one. And I hoped I could go up there, but apparently we're going somewhere else entirely. That's fine. If this is a dead end, then we just hit a dead end. And that's good. It means less stuff in other places. And oh my god, these trees are a nightmare. Okay, more time Guardian. Actually, okay, it dissipated. I was like, does it go the entire way and then like merge with some of those things and make some of them disappear? But no, it just stops. Okay, we can probably not go there. That just looks like environmental details, but not actual area to go. Speaking on going, where are we going? This is such a long extra road. Oh. We found a camp. Well, that means we probably find answers. And another way into the mine, huh? kinda want to check out the other place now first.
Albin and I fled from Jova when we heard the Asterian army was approaching. We left everything behind, even our poor dog.
We found the dog.
Albin is really beside himself about it. We just couldn't risk bringing him along, noisy as he is.
Can I take the dog now?
Albin...
My poor Max. We had to leave in such a hurry we left him behind. I pray to Sethrus that those Sabinian cretins haven't found him. Oh, I should have just set him free. I'll never forgive myself.
Again, can we take the dog to you? I mean, not without a fight. That one soldier woman definitely wanted to keep it, so...
I don't know if it's the stress, the hunger, or the cold. I feel weak. My heart is beaten out of my chest.
You are the Diana that the pills are for.
I need the medication in my suitcase, and I have no idea where it is. What else could possibly go wrong in this hellhole? I'm so tired.
Well, I found it. But that is what I mean with, like, you have to be exploring incredibly, like, in every corner. That was off the beaten path to the side. Really not indicated by anything, and it's like, I mean, it's directly here, but like, you could probably go completely past this and not find it, and then completely miss out on this quest line.
You found my medication? What a relief. I was starting to make peace with Sethrus. You've saved my life. Thank you. I can't even fathom what would have become of my poor baby if something happened to me. I just need to rest for a little bit.
Yay. Hopefully you don't need more of these, because we probably can't get too many more.
You found Mrs. Cross's medication? I hope she'll start feeling better soon. I can't wait to tell Mr. Atticus. He was so worried about her.
Isn't Atticus the name of the son of the farmer? The Cadell farm? Huh. Well, here's a safe. We're not going in there. We're going into the other mines first. Because this one feels like the way to go, to progress. Honestly, I don't know. Is this progress? It's a bit difficult to tell in this game, here and there. Because we still have stuff in Sinatra Forest that we have to unlock, and we don't have any key, anything at all. We have this, which definitely looks like it's something super important, and we don't have the key for that. There is this mine, there is the windmill that was mentioned where we should go to, so like... Actually, this is not a mine. Huh. From over there, I thought this could be a mine entrance. So, the mine entrance is where we were just before. Okay, got it. Got it. So this is how we go up here. I am blind. I thought this would be going down, but I didn't really look at it too much, because I, well, was initially already convinced that that's what it is, so... Oh, that's annoying. Okay. We have to test something. Shoot at me? You can't hit me. Okay, good. Can I hit you? Not with that. Not with that either. Well... that doesn't necessarily bode well.
I'm a journalist. Article 79 of the Geneva Convention formally states that journalists are protected under international humanitarian law.
That's great. I don't think most of the people we have met so far do care about that.
Who are you?
I'm Chania Elva. I'm an independent investigative journalist covering the Civil War.
Well, you're probably doing something more. And that's what we're really here for, so... maybe we finally get something that actually gives us real info about what's really going on behind the curtains.
Vitalis told me the passcode is Pentos. What's your connection to him?
Oh, so we're on the same team then. Vitalis is the source of my story. We met for the first time at the Weeping Knight statue. I don't know much about him. He was taking me to the Vigil headquarters when we got ambushed. It's somewhere in these rocky ridges.
Are you the journalist mentioned in this note?
Yes, I am. In my defense, you are dressed like the enemy. I was just covering my arse.
What do you know about their headquarters?
They call it the Watcher's Nest. To get there, Vitalis said we must follow the path with all the tombstones and obelisks just west of here. Vitalis described the entrance as a doorway etched into solid rock. He mentioned a windmill above it on the cliff. You need 2 keys to open the door. Vitalis gave me one during the ambush. Please, take it. Find Agatha. She has the other one.
Emblem, candle. Oh! An ornate carved symbol depicting a lit candle. This is meant to open the way to the Vigil's hideout in Vissa Hills, obtained from Tanya Alver in Vissa Hills. This looks like the one thing where I was questioning, like, do we need a big or a little one? It looked like a crest, and it had like 2 parts to it. This looks like it's the little one, so the other part of the key probably is the bigger one.
Where's Agatha?
We escaped the ambush together and headed into the rocky ridges. The enemy was following us. Agatha and I split up in the path with all the mining carts, and she made sure they followed her. Head back to where the path splits. I went left, and Agatha went right. That was the last time I saw her. I hope she's all right. I won't be joining you. My old injuries are acting up. I will only slow you down. I can see your APC from here. I'll head there and wait for you.
Oh. Are you literally going to travel with us? Well, probably only to a safe location, and then she's going to be on her own again. Like, I was gonna ask, like, can you actually see it from here? There's the road that we're on, and there's the APC, so yes, but like... you have a good way to go, and there's still some problems out there, but... oh well. So, we probably actually will find some answers. And I absolutely hate that there's an enemy above me trying to shoot at me. And oh boy. Doing more of it. Oops. That was a bit too much explosion radius. That still counted. Okay. The perfect parry sometimes really is a bit delayed. That... yeah, I was gonna say, is that Agatha? It seems to be. Ethnic ID card Agatha Marin. Agatha's ID card found on a corpse in Vissa Hills. Citizen identification card, mandatory for all residents of the country of Hadia. And emblem book, an ornate carved symbol depicting an open book found on a woman's corpse in Vissa Hills. Well, we have the key already. And another drone module, Death from Above. No lock on. Damage 1. Unit lifts the user to a dominant altitude that can be leveraged into an aerial assault. Wait, can we like do it Can we just do a drop attack with that or what? Haven't tried this yet. Wasn't the biggest fan of the whirlwind. I want to try what this does. This sounds funny as all hell if it actually like... Okay. That could be useful. Partially feels like it's a bit more playing around than like an actual attack, but never judge things before you test them out in actual combat. Video games sometimes put weird things in that might be more efficient than they seem at first. Oh, you're even up there, so I can't even like... Oh my god, I hate you. They're just gonna shoot. Like, seriously, I have to, like, not come back to get to you. I haven't really had, like, any real big enemies yet. We had mostly just normal ones. Kind of wondering if potentially the time loops will open up to get like mini bosses or something. Limbic battery that I still have not used yet, and looking at the limbic energy that I just got from fighting those few enemies, unless we actually get some real bosses, I'm also not sure if I ever really need that. I mean, as long as it is just a Hollow Walker, we can just hit it, right? To get more, so... You really don't need... Oh, we're going down to the mines. And we need a key... Pickaxe symbol! And mouse. But pickaxe symbol. Do I want to go here right now? Okay, we literally can't go anywhere. We're not going to progress. Okay. That makes it easier. I wondered if the pickaxe has something to do with the mine, just because it looks like a pickaxe. Even though I'm still of the opinion it is probably more like some special key, but there is a pickaxe symbol. The pickaxe means something. It's not just a pickaxe, it's something else. It's something much more important. I sound like I'm a conspiracy theorist or something, but I truly believe it is something special. And this must be the path that we're supposed to travel to the windmill. Okay. So I've taken the route that we're supposed to go first. I guess the other side, especially the mines, probably are some extra. There is more to it. We can go down here as well. Do we want to go down or do we want to continue? Maybe there is something here? No, not really. Okay, it's a stone in the sea. I was at first like, oh my god, is that the big enemy that I was just talking about? Of like, we haven't really had something like that. Did the game hear me and just gave me one? No. That was a stone. Would have been funny though. Would have been really, really funny to just be like, oh yeah, you asked for a boss fight. Look at that. But no. Okay, mines first. I kinda liked the last big area because it was just open. And it was therefore a bit easier to navigate. This one has like all these winding paths, so it's much easier to forget a singular little point. It's another one. It also has the pickaxe symbol. Oh my lord. Locked from the other side. Hello. Are you aware that this is a door, or is this just video game mechanics? Sometimes stuff like this breaks immersion, because it's like, are you sure that thing wouldn't just try to tear through the freaking door? This is the other side of where we were just now. We could see, well, at least we could see this. Maybe it's not necessarily the exact other side, but highly likely, I would say. Okay, mineshaft, so far not really anything. We need a key. That's fine. That means those are right now dead ends. We can therefore follow the path and have no worries about like missing out on stuff, because we can't do any of the other things anyway. It's always great. More scared people.
Listen, I don't want any trouble. I'm just looking for supplies.
Who are you?
The name's Atticus. I escaped the Medini prison camp when the demons attacked. I should have died there. Looks like Setharus had other plans for me. I joined up with some refugees. We have a camp close by. The path to reach it is behind the giant stone serpent. Head north from here. You should find it. These people need me. They're in bad shape. I'm out here scrounging for supplies. Have you seen the destroyed ON vehicles on the road? They're northeast of the Weeping Knight statue. There's a truck that's still in good shape. If only I could find the keys and get it started, I could take these people to my father's farm in Sinedra.
Okay, so son of our farmer friend. We can actually do more with that. We now, of course, need to find a key.
Did you see a strange door somewhere around here?
I saw a large door carved into the rock. Head back on this path and turn left. Continue on the path, and the door will be on your right.
Okay.
Careful, though. There's a huge demon lurking in front. When I saw it, I turned back real quick.
I may get my boss fight.
I think I met your father. He's Ernest Cadell, right?
Yes, he's my father. I'm glad to know he's alive and well. This makes me want to get back home even more.
I mean, partially understand that, but would it be great for you to return back to your family's farm if he wouldn't be there anymore? I mean, I guess it's still a safe place for the refugees, but still, that must still suck a little. And the normal general knowledge, but I'm actually interested what you think of all of this.
It doesn't look like it, but Hadia was beautiful and peaceful. It changed so quickly. I first noticed it on campus at Los Angeles University.
You went to university? What did you study?
History lessons were modified to suit new narratives. The line drawn in the sand by facts was fading under the waves of Sabinian nationalism. New campus groups and fraternities were formed and engaged in intimidation campaigns against Palamas students. Some of us stood firm, but most ended up leaving. It was so hard for me. My parents had spent their hard-earned money to send me to university. I was the only one in the family who had been given this chance. Deep down, I always believed that it would stop, that people would eventually come to their senses. Then I noticed that this was happening all over the country. By the time my hope had faded, civil war erupted.
It's more of the same us versus them mentality. The us versus them mentality. That, yeah. Again, I don't think I have too much to add to it, so I'm just not going to.
When the war erupted, I was still in Losalis, in the heart of the Lion's Den. I gathered what supplies I had and left for the Astarian-Umbrahan border. I needed to get home, to get to my family. What usually took a few hours on a road trip was turning into a logistical nightmare. Couldn't drive, take the bus, or train. Sabinian soldiers were patrolling back roads, streets, stations, you name it. On the way, I did things. Things I'm not proud of.
I think most people in these situations have that feeling.
I stole from people who were more desperate than I was. I refused to help others in need. I truly failed as a palamist.
Well, I thought you meant you accidentally killed someone in self-defense or something. Well, but I guess the point still stands. In desperation, we do things that are just not necessarily the greatest.
After months of hiding, looting, stealing, and running, I finally arrived on the outskirts of the Umbrahan border. I sought refuge in a barn. I was exhausted and hungry. The farmer woke me. I was initially terrified, but he was holding a plate of food. He handed it to me and I devoured it. He said he would return with more. He turned out to be a Sabinian farmer, feeding me to buy time until the soldiers showed up. It worked like a charm. That was the last square meal I had. After that, prison scraps if I was lucky.
Wait, if you were in prison, how did you escape?
Did you know that the Peacekeepers had an outpost in Medini? They stood by and watched Sabinian soldiers rape and murder palamists in droves. I'll tell you what they did care about. Their medical supplies and food. That's it. If they claim they never saw the Medini prison camp just outside of town, they could sure smell it. I guarantee you that. The stench of death filled the air for kilometers. They had the numbers and equipment to stop what was happening. They just stood there and watched. Let's just say, I don't hold them in high regard.
Understandable.
Let me tell you about Sabinians. The guards at the Medini prison camp would sometimes open the camp gates to Sabinian civilians. They would enter the gates of hell to spend the night beating, killing, raping, or any other twisted pleasure they could imagine. These Sabinian civilians wanted to settle old scores. Do you know what their grievances were? A wealthy palamist who would refuse to give them a job. A farmer who wouldn't lend his tools. A man who had stolen a girlfriend. Petty disputes were settled with crimes against humanity. That's who you're dealing with. I despise them with every fiber of my being. They are my brothers and sisters. Our faith and tragedy bind us. We will overcome this. We must. Now, more than ever. May we all stand in our Lord's gaze. They are not our Lord's doing. He would never unleash such demons upon us, no matter how much we've sinned. This disaster is the work of TR, the great two-headed serpent. You want proof? If they were from Setharis, they would have only attacked the guards back in Medini. Once the strange anomalies appeared, creatures materialized everywhere out of thin air. It was surreal. The Kata describes a place called the Himalara Fields. TR made the Great Curse, and his demons dwell in that place. I believe those anomalies are doorways between our worlds.
Well, as I mostly say, there is no happiness here. So instead of going back to the same very human cruelties, I'm gonna focus on the other part of this. Himolara Fields was something that was mentioned in the text in the ruins we went to at the start of the game. So we already have a little bit of info in that regard. Also, the anomalies are gateways between worlds. Does he mean the time loops? That's... I mean, I still haven't entered one, so... something to look out for. That has very deceptive much less rank than it used to be. There is so many of them around here. And I still want to go back down, and I want to check out the mines. You? Got it. I hate you. Please, no more ranged enemies. Actually, I don't think we have tested this. Do we have? No. Does not seem like we have any kind of plunge attack. Then again, we didn't have too many options, so maybe the terrain isn't really... like, there's not enough terrain that could be potentially used like this. And this is another one of those. We had another chest like this that needed something, but that had a rose as a symbol. This does not have anything. But it's another treasure chest that we have to come back for. I really need to take notes. I mean, I do have some notes on some things, but they're the bigger, obvious things. Like some of the quest lines that we're still looking for and all that. But I don't have notes for individual, like, treasure chests. Not every single one. But maybe I need it. What? The haste took damage before it was out? Its spawn was not full health. What the hell is that about? Huh. So you can hurt it while it's inside of them? That sounds very, very useful to know. But it also sounds like it's made up. That doesn't sound like it's an actual thing. That's like... I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it should be a thing. Because it isn't there yet. It doesn't exist yet, really. I mean, I guess it does exist. It's just inside of them. Whatever. Good to know. that much damage from that. That's interesting. Do the different, well, types of hazes have resistances to specifically other, well, limbic spheres types damages? I don't know how to describe that. And we're back at the APC. Welp. That means we have not too much more to really look around for. Next thing is definitely... what I want to do is go to the mines and then we're gonna go up, trying to get to the windmill. But I also want to go back to this person who is now definitely dead. Welp. No, this is a mine shaft. This is a different place than the other one. That's why the confusion. I'm not stupid. I mean, most of the time. Okay, I would say this is where we go first. Maybe we find the key, maybe we find something else, maybe we find, well, anything really would do. Well, that's a dead end. And more medkits. Which I have not used for some time now. Oh god. I still have a little bit much higher respect of the green ones. Because they're so far the ones that have done the most damage. And had the weirdest movements. Like, I described the normal enemies, the hollow walkers, as very jittery. I stand by that. But the hazes are, for the most part, not that weird to figure out what their movement is or what it maybe means. You can kind of efficiently gauge their attacks. But the green ones are the ones where that's a bit... well, for me it's a bit more difficult. What was that? Key, rusted. An old rusted key found on a corpse in the mines of Visa Hills. Lucky break, mystery discovered. Oh, I think this is the key for here. What is your purpose? Who put you here? Like, you're here for something. You're indicating something. Someone was like, now we have to, like, mark the way. And I want to know. Well, stunning them works. They still took the damage and then I just instantly healed them back because I hit them. So, maybe it indicates this quest line? Ooh, we're inside of the snake. Well, inside of this place at the start. And we have a very interesting treasure chest that... well, yeah, those don't fit. We need... this also doesn't fit. This definitely also doesn't. We need something bigger. It doesn't hurt to try, but... I definitely want to kind of go back to the other part now, because there was that gravesite that had something for the book and the candle, and I don't know. Maybe we need to go back, but... I mean, if there are multiple places where you can insert it, I guess it's a key you can just multi-use and I don't have to worry about. Hopefully? Dance, O lost ones, dance in wild revelry, till the earth quakes and our two-headed father wakes. You have arrived and now you must climb. Well, that means we definitely have a group of snake worshippers here. Serpent, not necessarily snake. The question, of course, is why exactly? Also, now that we're here, we were very rudely booted away from this place by having found our father. Maybe we can actually find the key? Probably not. But maybe we can go that direction, like, we just arrived here, looked at our father, and we didn't really have a chance to go up here. So maybe, potentially, we can look around here somewhere and find something in the wreckages, like a dead person who wears a ON uniform and...
Unidentified insurgents! Repeat, this is ON Convoy Alpha 2. We are carrying refugees from Golmore and Skell. Heading north through Vista Hills, nearly 30 clicks from refugee Camp Romeo. Repeat, we are under attack. Requesting immediate evacuation.
What? Kinda hope that that also would potentially carry the key, but... This is a convoy to Camp Romeo. Well... That, like, really did not work. And it's kind of ridiculous, like, how bad it has gotten. I'm gonna look at these little corners. Because again, the game is hiding little things here and there. But yeah, there's nothing here that we can, like, get. Is this the truck that you want to, like, take? No, this one doesn't have, this one doesn't even have wheels anymore, holy. That was all really bad. Definitely looks like a special tree, but it seems to not be something super special, it just seems to be a tree. Oh ho! Something else that I didn't catch on my first playthrough, my first passing through the area. I cannot even. So... we have to go back, of course, to... we have to go back to the mines, definitely. But I also just quickly want to...
There they are! There they are! There they are!
Happy scan data is signature time identical, relevant item.
There they are!
Oh, that takes
There they are!
damage.
There they are! There they are! There they are!
Take damage of
There they are!
close.
There they are!
Since we don't have any relevant items, so... how do we get
There
out of
they
here?
are!
Other than just... dying. God dang it. Well, actually, we can just... We can get out easy. Okay, that was a weird experience. It is a time loop inside there. Okay, cool. Soldiers shooting at something and getting shot at. Which could be even like the convoy being attacked. But we need a relevant item to actually do anything in there. Interesting. But sadly, not in any way, shape or form actually answering any questions of what the hell we have to do there. Like, I still don't know what kind of item are we looking for. Are we looking for something supernatural? Like a specific key that has something to do with, well, like another limbic key of any kind? Or are we looking for like a special item of the people who are actually in the time loop, whose likeness is trapped in there? Okay. I want to go to the mines first. And now that I know that that is what the time loop is, I am very interested in figuring out what has to be done. Because that also is like the same for the other one, right? For Bob, the time loop? Which I again still don't fully know if it's open or not, but I'm now thinking that it probably isn't. The only reason why I wanted to try that is because there was this weird random noise and I was like, what the hell was that? And that's why I was like, well, maybe it happened when we killed the Time Loop Guardian. So probably it has something to do with that. So far I'm going to just take that as it is correct. That is what it is. The game hasn't proven to me that I'm wrong on that assumption. But it is still just an assumption. I don't have concrete proof. It is not something where I'm like, absolutely 100% that is what it is and nothing else. And this is... God damn it. I was like, is this one of the doors that we've seen? No, it is not. That also makes no sense from a map layout, now that I think about it. In like three-dimensional space, that now we're in a different place. There's nothing here so far. Like, no enemies. Nothing really to even look at. Like, limbic capacitator, limbic battery, and dead end. Huh, so nothing. Literally nothing. Okay. That means we have to go back to the other part of the mines. This really doesn't get us anywhere. Am I a little disappointed by that? Yeah. But it means we have the other side to actually test out what's going on. That's not so bad. You can definitely just jump off cliffs in this game and it's like, it's fine. But, So we need a snake key. We need whatever the hell this wants from us. And now we have to just go our way to the windmill. Well, somewhat a little bit below the windmill, where we have to insert the keys that we now have. You're still here. You're still here. That is okay. You're probably gonna be next to the APC when I actually enter it for a cutscene. So, You said down here on the right. But that just brings us back down there. Oh, he meant up there probably, yeah. Right, we have to take the ladder. Ladder. I forgot that there was a ladder. Then we have the first part of the mines we can go down. And we can potentially open the door. Does the key work? No. This is not the key we need here. Okay. I mean, I'm guessing the key is gonna be very, very obvious and has the pickaxe symbol on it, but... I mean, we found the key and we have a lock, so why not put one and one together and just try? But it really means we have to follow this road. We have this. How do we get over there? No. Okay. So if that key doesn't work, then it doesn't work here either. Don't even have to try in that regard. It just doesn't. Whereas taking the scenic route away from the windmill. Actually, where is the windmill? It's really difficult to see right now. Ah, I just went down here. I did not go here. Da 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 da. There's the windmill. Problem solved. I only went in one direction and forgot the other even existed. Oh. And here I was thinking that we actually might encounter something. Oh, I shouldn't have spoken so soon. It seems to have two. Very cinematic death camps are a bit weird sometimes. It had two hazes and they were of different limbic spheres. Nothing in this corner. Well, not the kind of boss fight that I imagined, but definitely, oh, they're both big. They're not combinable like the thing that I expected. Okay. Well, we have a way. And it updated Tanya. So now she's probably at the APC when we go back. There's light in here. Or not. One out of many is still... Oh. Note wall grooves. A note left by Vitalis concerning the mysteries of the Watcher's Nest, found in the entrance of the Watcher's Nest in Visa Hills. Vigil members, we must open Pentas's coffin today. No more delays. It's directly beneath this floor. Just go through the hole in the wall. The coffin's mechanism appears to be locked by this riddle. Through his name, his title, the symbol of his order, and the date of inception of his order shall the path be revealed. We solve it and we proceed to our next phase. Let's finish this. Vitalis. Name of the order and date. But isn't this your order? Don't you note your own? That's interesting. What are these? I need something. That's the symbol for terror. That's the symbol for grief. No. That is terror. That is rage. That is ecstasy. And the others, I don't know. God, that's not great music. It's definitely creepy, but it's also like a bit not nice on the ears. Especially with headphones. The Watcher's Nest, the Vigil, founded 1530. So is that the order when it was founded? Is that what we're supposed to know? There's more. Okay, we need our drone. That's a sword with roses. That's the candle and the book, which is the Vigil. That's a circle with multiple crosses around it and dots in the middle. We also don't have anything for this. They all have these like rose petals pattern. Okay. Okay, that is not what I expected to see here. So I'm guessing we have to like somehow put in a code with some things that we will find throughout the game. There is more of these. There's another one of the crest with the... Nah, it's probably not a rose, it's another flower. So I'm just gonna call it a flower from now on. Ecstasy suppressor. Okay. Oh, we can access the computer.
The Lone Caves expeditions yielded two significant revelations. Confirmation that the calamity is real, and the existence of a plan to stop it, the so-called failsafe. We know nothing of this failsafe, nor of the artifact we recovered. All of these tomes, and not a shred of information. Whatever machinations the Foal Guard of old had in mind, they were intent on keeping it a secret. I fear it is now lost in the folds of history. It seems to me the artifact may be part of a larger mechanism. Perhaps it is a key of sorts. Does it open another tomb or vault? Are there more such keys? It is clear to me that this artifact, this keystone, is a critical piece of the failsafe enigma. We must continue to pull at this thread until the truth reveals itself.
Oh. Okay. There are so many of these though. What the... I'm overwhelmed, I don't know where to begin, so I'm gonna go around just counterclockwise right now. Deal. Short, but just as cryptic. Rosa. So these give us an answer to what we have to put in here, probably. What is this? So the three symbols are the Order of the Eye, the Foal Guard, and the Vigil. And 1512, 1513. For two of the keystones on the wall, and this is the symbol for the Foal Guard. Vitalis, stop sketching on the whiteboard, you can't draw. Wow. I was like, that's probably important. I mean, maybe? Electo? Algea? Huh.
The revelation that we may have a traitor in our ranks weighs heavily on me. Our vows are sacrosanct. How could one betray the Order at a moment such as this? I harbor a growing suspicion, insidious notion that is slowly taking root. Harrowing, if accurate. It chills me to the bone. I can't cannot inform the others until I have arrived at certainty without doubt. The risk of exposure is too great. What would she possibly have to gain? I pray that I am mistaken. The consequences would be disastrous. Likely the end of the vigil as we know it.
She. Why does that make me think of potentially our mother? Because she and Vitalis had a falling out, and she put our protagonist just away, made him leave. I mean, What is this also? This is some weird big tree symbol? Doesn't look like any of the things we've seen so far, so okay. Are we gonna need a password? No. The Watcher's Nest, November 29, 1987. The discoveries we came upon within the Yumal Caves were nothing short of astounding. How those discoveries led us here is truly fortuitous. Never would I have imagined standing in such a hallowed, storied place. Brother Damien was adamant about bringing this old dusty cave into the modern age. As much as I begrudge these new-fanged computers, I will concede that the work ahead of us is monumental. There are several lifetimes worth of scrolls and manuscripts stored here, and a more efficient method of record-keeping will be of great value. I am hopeful that we can find more information about this keystone. Okay, Damien was mentioned in something before, so that's someone we already know. He brought the computers in. Okay. Wall grooves, wooden shields. February 27th, 1989. Now that we are properly settled, we are ready to delve headlong into the mysteries of this place. Gildas has set his sights on translating the many instances of ancient texts we have found throughout. I will be concentrating on the strange flower-shaped grooves inlaid into the walls. There are 8 such grooves in the entrance hall, each accompanied by a symbol displayed prominently on a wooden shield. I believe these 8 are part of a set. Agatha has a keen eye for iconography. I've asked her to assist me in interpreting the possible meanings of these symbols. Well, again, 4 of them seem to be the limbic spheres we have seen so far, so the other 4 might be something similar. There might be more limbic spheres, or they could be some, maybe like a counter to them. Wall grooves, metal shields. June 2nd, 1989. I've recently turned my attention to the set of 3 flower-shaped grooves in the corridor. Each is overlooked by a large metallic aegis bearing a strikingly well-preserved coat of arms. Of these, I can only recognize our own, that of the Vigil. Gildas assures me that he has seen the others before, and he will attempt to track down their provenance. He will record his findings on the whiteboard. Also, I should mention these are Vitalis' personal notes. It says those at the top, and this is true for all of them. So far. Well, no, it's just for all of them. Walgroove's main area, January 30, 1990. It's clear now that the grooves on both sides of the armor rack are meaningless, and we're done wasting time on them. Instead, it's very likely the grooves flanking the old banner are part of the solution. Damien has noted the deciphered dates for each side on the whiteboard. But we don't have anything to put in, so that doesn't help us yet. Walgroove's alcoves. April 22nd, 1990. Through countless hours of study, Gildas has managed to piece together a rudimentary translation key for the ancient language. Through it, we have now discovered that this place was named the Watcher's Nest, a quite fitting moniker, I must say. More importantly, we have translated the text accompanying the 4 flower-shaped grooves in the alcoves adjoining the main room. The texts are simply a collection of names: Alector, Algea, Dio, and Rosa. Upon further research within the scrolls, we discovered that these are the names of the last Full Guard generals, the so-called Wardens of the Eye. What is the significance of the inscription here? Every stone uncovered spawns more question. Burial chamber. January 21st, 1993. Yesterday, a rather significant earthquake put our operations on hold. The generators failed and we were thrust into darkness. We are just now getting our infrastructure back online. A section of the wall in the main room has crumbled, revealing a hidden burial chamber. We believe it to be the tomb of Pentos Algea, the founder of the Vigil. Unbelievable that this sealed chamber should be found right under our noses. What good fortune! The chamber is a veritable treasure trove of revelations. Along with the sarcophagus, ornate illustrations adorn the walls. Once the rubble is cleared, we will hoist Gildas down into the chamber, that he may begin to translate the ancient text. This may just be the lead we have been hoping for. Ceramic flowers. January 22nd, 1993. We found 4 flower-shaped ceramic tokens inside the tomb. They share a perfect symmetry with the wall grooves whose purpose has evaded us since we first entered this place. Everything is beginning to fall into place. The tokens are clearly made to be inserted into the grooves. There are 4 tokens and 4 distinct sets of grooves. I believe this mystery must be linked to Algea somehow. Perhaps the grooves represent his life, his accomplishments. I feel we are so very close to the solution. Okay, so they don't really know too much themselves. They've tried to figure it out. So this ancient group of people existed, then kind of vanished, and some people found it and now try to do the same thing. Or at least they try to figure out what it is, and they have at least figured out enough that they're now trying to put a stop to the calamity. Helm and coif worn by General Pentos Algea, first of the Vigil. That looks ancient. Which only helps put this into perspective that this probably is all ancient. Okay, I cannot read that. But sword against creature that looks like those look like the Hollow Walkers. And here we have one of the weapons. From the color, it's a grief one, if that matters in any shape. Yeah, I can't read that. That's too small. Another computer. Watchers test eternity. Authorized personnel only. Well, we only had the 2 numbers. 1512 and 1513, but we need a 6-digit code, so that's not it. Didn't yet have something really that helps us with that.
The tomes scattered around this hallowed ground speak of Pentos Algea, the first of the Watchers. It was Pentos who recognized that the calamity would always remain a threat. From the ashes of the derelict Fulguard, he forged a new order to carry on our sacred charge. His foresight and tenacity are the reason the Vigil still exists today. There must be a reason he chose to conceal the existence of the failsafe and the keystone. Truly extraordinary that we should stumble upon his tomb after all these years. I pray it contains the answers we seek.
Okay, all of the flowers all the time. Those are the symbols we had on the wall. Huh, interesting. They're always one of the limbic sphere symbols accompanied by something else. Left, Warden of Ecstasy, right, Warden of Vigilance. Yeah. The symbol of ecstasy we know. Do I have to... I hope I can remember these if they are needed for the puzzle. I don't want to draw them. Left, Warden of Terror, right, Warden of Admiration. We'll read that last. Left, Warden of Grease, Right Warden of Amazement. Left Warden of Rage, Right Warden of Loathing. 4 times ceramic flower, blue tinted ceramic token with a wooden flower inlaid in the center, found in the Watcher's Nest. Okay, we're supposed to put them in and solve the riddle. Pentos Avia ordained the new Warden of Grief, 1501. Huh. Interesting. And another limbic rod, Grief, Z. Limbic door, Sinatra, Hilltop. Oh! I don't have to remember them! The game is just like, hey, you probably forgot. This is what you have to do now. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This probably doesn't do anything. Yeah, that's expected. Okay, we have them. We need to figure out. So, we have the riddle. I mean, why would these exist actually? I want to, like... We can remove it again. I want to just figure out, like, what would it do if we put the both in here? Nothing. Kind of hope that we could, like, just get an extra new look, a new outfit, but yeah. So the riddle was... No, that was not the riddle. It was the note we found. Headquarters of the Vigils is hidden in the rocky ridges of Vista Hills. Vigil believes that there are more answers inside Pento's coffin. We have Agatha, had the other key, split up on the path. Tanya and Agatha split up on the path. We found her body, but sadly she is dead. Watcher's Nest. Yeah, the Vigil recently found an ancient tomb underneath the Watcher's Nest. It was hidden. That's probably very important to remember. Repurposed medieval underground construction used as the Vigil's headquarters. Then we have Tanya, our reporter's investigator. Independent investigative journalist, and Vitalis was the source for her story. I'm actually interested, like, what story did he tell her? Okay. Nothing directly that truly helps us. Atticus, helping the refugees. We have found the launch door. Son of Ernest Cadell. We need to get him a key so we can help all of these. And Ernest Cadell, we have found his son. Okay, we now know that there is 2 time loops, one in El Casamarja, one in Vista Hills. That doesn't really help. What I'm looking for is this one. Through his name, his title, the symbol of his order, and the date of inception of his order. Okay, we need name, title. I'm gonna write this down. Just so that I don't have to. Actually, I don't have to. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. That's not what you do. I wanted to say like ha 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 ha. Good game design. Because I now have to find it. It's this one. We can equip it. I don't have to like write it down. I can just be like, I want to read this again. I don't think I'm gonna use this too often, but like, hey, you don't have to write it down. Okay, name, title, symbol, and then the inception of the order. None of these seem to really matter to that, do they? So we need this one, because that is... Do I have to put them in the right order? Okay, name first. We're gonna try to do name first. Which... I mean, this is... Is this his name? It's the Helm. First of the Vigil. That is the title. That is the title. So where do we have his name? Oh, this is gonna be a thing. Like, we had all of those... no, we had Algea. Right, we actually had it. It was on here. That's Rosa. The other one was Dio, then this is Electro, and this is the one. Algea, okay. Name. Name, title. But this has two. Do I need to put in both? The symbol of the order, which is this. And then the date, which is 1513, if I remember correctly, and this tells it this is the right side. But it feels like I need one more. It feels like... Helmet Coif won by General Pentos Algea, first of the Vigil. This has two, so do we need two? Do we need two to do this? Do I need to find another one somehow? Putting it in here? Again, if the order matters, this screwed everything up. Do we have something else that is the title? I'm pretty sure that we need to like put in name, title, symbol, and the year. Those are the two only things that actually have numbers, so maybe that's the point actually. What did make me think it was 13? Actually looking at that. That's definitely not it. The key that we don't know what it is. Sheet music, I have to return to that guy. Yep. It's the OMSIF stuff, it's the training ground. Weird things that we still don't really know what to do with.
The Umo Caves expeditions yielded two significant revelations.
I just wanna... Okay, no, that was something else. The ON ambush... Pentos.
The tomes scattered around this hallowed ground speak.
No.
Dear diary.
Nah. These are all not... Dooba-dooba-doo. Oh yeah, I actually, between episodes, I did upgrade 2 other weapons. Just so once I want to use them, that I have them. If we want to use other things, but okay. Where was the date in there? The date was here, right? That was where I have the date from. Founded 1513. Okay, though founded 1513 is correct. I have the feeling we need one more for this, because that's... So this is correct. This is definitely correct. The name is definitely correct. This is the one where we're like, It has 2. Does it need 2? That's like the interesting question, isn't it? I mean, but we need the other one, so like putting both of these in here will not do anything. I feel like I need another one. I feel like I need a 5th one. Maybe I am overthinking some of this. It is name, title, order, founding date. It makes sense to have it like this. But again, it feels like we may need one more, or how are we supposed to do this one? Is there one downstairs that could potentially, like both, is there another of these flower patterns down the stairs, but also is there potentially one that we can insert? Like another place where we can insert them so that we can like... Did I read this actually? Yes. Yes, I did. Okay, no, there doesn't seem to be one. Oh, wait. Maybe nothing has to happen. Oh, my goodness gracious. We just have to put them in. Nothing happens. We have to then pull the thingy. Okay, I don't know how this one works. This is the one that makes my head spin, because I'm like, it feels like that one doesn't have a clear thing of what it wants. Unless Helm and Coif won by General Pentas, first of Division. These have no like thing. They're just like bip, nothing. Put an item here. We're gonna try to pull the lever again. Nothing happens, okay. It feels like... I mean, if someone watches this that actually knows what's going on, they're gonna pull their hair out. If I actually need one more, that's gonna be super annoying. We found the limbic key here, the rod. So, this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna probably cut this at this point. I mean, not necessarily like end the episode or something, but like I'm going to just be cutting around. I will go back to the APC and head to Sinedra Forest. Oh well, here we are. Sinedra Forest. The Door of Grief. That we now still don't have the thing for. God damn it. We have the bottom one. But we don't have the top. This is the wrong one. God dang me sideways. Okay, we're gonna be back for some other things that we have still to do. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, that's what this game is. That's what I'm trying to play it for, right? A puzzle game. Figuring things out, trying to solve mysteries, and trying to understand what is so important about certain things. I want to visit our dear farmer, Mr. Cadell. Okay, now that I know that you... Oh, you just lie on the ground. I was like, now that I know that you respawn, I can finally figure out your tricks. You have evaded me for the last time. And it just lies on the ground. It's like nothing special, nothing interesting. It's really just like, yeah, there it is. What do you want to see? I don't expect this to have anything, but I just want to check it out.
Oh!
Da, 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 da.
I met your son, Atticus, in the Vista Hills.
I knew he was still alive. I knew it. Oh, thanks, Zephyrus. I hope he finds his way back home.
Me too, buddy.
How are you holding up?
It's been quiet here. I've even dared to step outside for a few hours. It felt good to breathe the air of the forest again. I picked some fresh flowers. They now adorn my son's graves.
Well, I didn't expect too many things to happen here. Well, we're gonna go back to Akasa Marshes to finish some stuff that I just haven't done / partially forgot about, and then we're gonna see if we can find something. So, sheet music.
I'm only permitted to play Sabine. I'm getting the impression that Captain... The soldiers have...
I forgot.
Excellent. The more the merrier. You're a lifesaver, friend. My fiddle and I thank you sincerely. Hopefully Voss will stop staring daggers in my direction now. Even if each of these compositions sounds more dreadful than the last.
Okay, that probably goes to the next step of that quest line. And actually, now that we're here, can we talk to... Oh, she sits upright, we can. That's gonna be interesting.
Without you and Victor, I'd be a goner for sure. Thank you for saving my ass back there. When the ON pulled out, I decided to stay behind. I thought I could help, but I was mistaken. This place is beyond hope. There will be no happy ending here.
I've been saying that a lot. At least one person here is like, yeah, you're probably right.
Seeing this much death and suffering, I just want to hold my daughter again. I need to get out of here. I kept a picture of her in the truck's safe box. It's probably burned to ashes now. A perfect metaphor for the ON mission here.
No. That's not the thing. Didn't we have some half-burnt picture? Am I imagining things? No, I am very, very, very sure that we have some, like, half-burnt... Yeah, we do. Picture of family. Can't... I was like, maybe she doesn't have the same hair color. Actually, we can see it on the back a little bit. Is she bald? Okay, it's not for her.
Without you and Victor. See,
Okay, that's it. Probably something more when we get the truck moving. Another thing I shortly want to check out, this time with a little bit of a safety net, just in case, is of course Bob. Hello, Bob. Are you ready to share your secrets yet? Oh wait, these respawn. I kind of just hoped that I would hit, but no. How much damage does this now do that it's level 10? That's a solid one-shot. Pretty good. Yeah, I don't expect this to work. have not found all the time the guardians in this area, so the weird noise definitely is an indicator. That's good to know. That's incredibly good to know. But it doesn't help us right now.
Why? We got some... Oh. Camille's rosary. I can give them a proper burial with this. My family can now rest in Sethrus' gaze. You have my everlasting thanks, stranger.
Yay. Something good came out of it. Kinda. I don't believe it. We have finally opened one! Faded blueprints. An aged scrap of parchment with faded, almost illegible blueprints of some kind. Looks like a bit like an astrolabium? Brooch of Ecstasy. Delectable recovery. While grievously wounded, increase your limbic energy regeneration. Okay. I don't think that is needed that much. We do have most of the time enough. Like, it's not like I'm not using the abilities. I'm kind of spamming them and it works. But yeah, this was the first time we've seen these. This is the light bulb. We still need to find 2 more of these somewhere in here. But yeah, we opened something. And then we have you two that we still have nothing for, right?
I still can't believe what happened. We were finally grabbed what we could. I'm almost out of metformin.
Yeah, but we can't give you anything. And you wanted a radio.
How the hell did you find us? Our CO, Lieutenant Rue, convinced us to stay for a few days. And now we're stuck here.
Yeah. Radio and metformin. We don't have either of those. But still, we opened something. Finally.
Welcome back. Let me know if you need any repairs or enhancements for...
Ah.
How are you holding up?
Voss is keeping me busy with some repairs here and there. I have to say I appreciate the distraction. It keeps my mind off the creatures in the marsh and the monsters in uniform.
I'm sorry, but Vitalis is gone.
Oh. This is a sad day indeed. I still had so much to learn from him. Vitalis and I met under dire circumstances. He gave me a choice. Continue fucking up my life or become something greater. I will always cherish his life lessons and teachings. We both had wounds that could never heal. I will honor his memory by using the skills he taught me.
Well. Yeah, I just figured we should tell him. That probably would give us something. Well, I haven't found anything else around here really. So, back to the riddle at hand. Which is not boding well. Oh, I think I figured it out. Okay, I took all of them out again to redo it. Maybe this works. So, name. Just to make sure that this is the right one. This is Algea. Yes. Next in line is his title. And I was like the first of the vigil, but no, he was crowned Warden of Grief. Then his order, which this is the order that he founded. And then we have the date. Oh, this, I don't know. This threw me off. We did something. I wanted to make a bit about it of like, I spent like an hour trying to do it, but no, that I went back in here, looked at that wall, read it again, looked at the symbol and was like, wait a moment. What do you? Well, I guess there is an actual guy in there, but I kind of expected something, I don't know, something more than just a guy in very normal robes. New passive relic acquired. Mark of the Betrayed. Avenger's Essence. Retaliate with tremendous fury, increasing damage dealt after parrying. Okay. If I actually get those down, that would be good. Blue Flower Scroll. An old scroll written in an ancient language. Elaborate illustrations adorn the page and feature a blue flower, found in Pentos Algea's tomb in the Watcher's Nest. But we can't read it. But it says, well, we have the top left of it, which is something we can't read. Top right of it is flowers, well, one flower. Then we have bottom left, a field of flowers surrounding something, could be with the waves some kind of piece of water. There are 5 pillars that are all alit. I wanted to say we probably have an idea what it is, but honestly, no, I don't. And then we have a key needed for something that has that is the, what were they called? That's the church, that's something of the eye. But that's simple, and it has 5 little blue pips in it. Potentially something to do with the 5 pillars that are lit up? Lit up. I can't.
That's interesting.
Tanya?
I made it back to your APC and figured out how to access your drone's controls.
Oh, great.
Bring back that scroll you just picked up. I found something in the APC that can help us.
Well. So now she is back at the APC. And she's gonna be like a companion from afar. Distant toilet flush? What? Oh, is that her? Through the... Tanya, I don't mind if you want to. No. There is... Oh, that is a... We just were in here and... Hello, dear man. Have you not noticed us? How have we not noticed you? I mean, there was, I guess, light coming from there, but... Well...
Funny. I've never seen you before. No matter. I can see your credentials hanging from your neck. Welcome to the Watcher's Nest.
On one hand, I'm like, well, there's probably not many other people that will use these things, but you do understand that if someone just kills one of you, takes this specific necklace, and just wears it, that is a terrible safety measure to understand who is working with you and against you. You're literally saying like, oh, I've never seen you, but you have this thing, so guess you're good. Like, that even goes beyond like random video game logic. That's just, have you no self-preservation instinct?
Who are you?
My name is Gildas Brom. I am the oldest member of the Vigil. Ever since I lost the use of my legs, I've been the caretaker of relics and other useful items.
Can you decipher the scroll we just picked up?
We have accumulated quite a collection. These items are precious and will undoubtedly help you fight the creatures.
Anything else you can tell me about the Watcher's Nest?
Initially, the Watcher's Nest was a barracks for the Foal Guards, our ancestral order. Their blue-flowered crest is carved on the walls. The Foal Guard abandoned it, but Pentos Algier, the founder of the Vigil, reclaimed it years later. He made it a secret stronghold to coordinate the Vigil's efforts. Today, it is a beacon, a marker left behind for future generations. Pentos was put to rest here, but we only recently discovered his tomb in the crypt below. Although we haven't been able to open his coffin yet, we are confident there are more answers inside.
Well, we can help with that. But first, hopefully we can figure out what's up with this keystone and what to do with it.
Can you tell me more about the Keystone of Grief?
If you have the keystone, this can only mean one thing. Vitalis is no more. This is a somber day for the Vigil. He was the best of us. Unfortunately, there is no time to mourn him. I will honor his memory later. As for the artifact, we only have theories, some of which you can find in notes and journals strewn across the tables and desks. The Keystone of Grief was found in the Umal Caves, leading us to the Watcher's Nest, whatever the Keystone is. I believe some answers can be found in Pentos's coffin. If only we can figure out a way to open the damn thing.
What are other duties a Vigil must perform?
I'm sure you are aware that nothing is free in this world. As a Vigil, you swore an oath to prevent the calamity and protect the people of Hadia. By performing good deeds for Hadians, you can acquire some relics and items.
That's a wonderful way to be like, do questlines to get rewarded. I always love when video games try to explain video game mechanics and put them in their story and lore. And sometimes it's just so obvious video game slang that you're like, that, yeah, sure, buddy.
You may have noticed that the creature, despite being slain, returns after a certain time. That's because you haven't shut down their time loop. You need to kill the Guardians first, and only then can you enter the time loop to shut it down.
And how do we do that?
We must shut down all the time loops. I know, it seems like an impossible task given the brutality of the Civil War. Take this. It will help you detect the Guardians that are protecting each time loop.
Guardian Detector, usable item. A device that always seems to point to the nearest time loop Guardian. Crystalline lattice that is highly sensitive to approximate time loop frequencies. The crystal orients itself towards similar frequencies in the vicinity. It is a spiky black ball in the middle of it. And the outer side of it looks a little bit like it could be a flower. Oh god, so many things. I think the flower scroll will be like the biggest and most important one for the story, so we're doing that last.
What are time loops? And how do I shut them down?
They ensnare moments in time, events charged with extreme violence, and curse those trapped inside to relive the moment over and over again. Now, how to shut it down? Once inside, you must bring an Ammon prism to the center of the time loop.
And where do we get those?
The center is deadly to humans, so the Fold Guards trained owls to carry the Ammon prism.
Well, we have a drone, so that's good.
Ammon prisms are extremely rare. This is the only one I have left. Please take it. Perhaps your flying gadget can carry it to the center for you.
Oh yeah, right, you're the person who didn't want the PCs and computers and all that, all the modern things.
Remember, when you close a time loop, come back and see me to claim your reward.
Another just blatant video game statement of like, come back here for your reward. Nobody talks like this when you do something like this.
There must be thousands. Roll up your sleeves. You have a lot of work ahead of you.
Amine Prison, Sigma. A small prison that emits a constant hum. It is much heavier than it looks. Prison composed of a basic crystalline lattice whose peculiar structure traps and delays limbic frequencies. This mechanism disrupts any looping resonance into irregular patterns, causing the collapse of Sigma's signature time loops. Are there also other signature time loops where we need other specific things for? We still don't know how to get more of these. Note: collapsing time loops. A series of notes concerning the functioning of time loops obtained from Gildas Brom in Watcher's Nest. To collapse a time loop, one must first gain access to its interior. Based on our findings, this is only possible after eliminating all its guardians. Fortunately, the device we discovered in the Watcher's Nest, dubbed the Guardian Detector by Gildas' boundless imagination, can be used to locate them. Once inside a time loop, an Amine prison must be placed at its very center. The ancient texts warn that this point is fatal to all biological life. Our ancestor in the Fold Guard initially sent sacrificial volunteers, the proto-martyrs, into the time loops carrying the prisms. Later, they were replaced with specially trained owls. That's why they're called martyrs. I said something when we read that before. They give their life for a good cause. That's... I mean, if it's to save the world, I guess that's a title of honor. Additionally, time loops seem to form according to 3 patterns of increasing intensity. Each requires an Amine prison of the corresponding pattern in order to destabilize and collapse the time loop. That summarizes everything we know about these anomalies. Vitalis would like to start planning when and how we'll shut them down, and as Gildas reminds us, we're fresh out of our... Well, so okay, there are multiple frequencies, so we have to figure out which one is which. And then we also have to still figure out where can we get more of these prisms.
How do I perform good deeds?
It's simple. Help our people. Hadeans are a proud bunch. They won't ask for your help directly, so pay attention to what they say. The more you help our fellow Hadeans, the more relics and items you can acquire. Now, you're asking yourself, how can this old kook know if I'm helping people? Oh, I can tell. It's in your eyes, boy. The eyes have much to say if one knows how to look. Whenever you accomplish a good deed, come back and talk to me to claim your reward.
Huh. Interesting that we don't get them from the people that we help, but from him.
What do you know about these weapons?
Consider what our smiths need to forge our weapons. It makes you think, doesn't it? Now that's a chicken and the egg mystery if I ever saw one.
I haven't thought about that, but yeah, they are forged from the material of the things that we kill with them. The limbic entities, which are absolutely invulnerable to apparently anything else. So how was the first of these weapons made? Because from there on, everything's fine, but the first one is a paradox. Or we will probably figure out how it was made during the story?
Think about it. You can't slay the creatures without our weapons. The material to forge them comes from the creature's corpse. How did they do it?
Potentially they had help from something else. I don't know, with all the talk about Zephyrus and TR as like good and evil, potentially, and some kind of gods, and these entities sometimes being referred to as like TR's demons, even though that's from the modern people and that's how they look at it, but potentially there was some kind of divine intervention that made the first weapon appear. Again, I'm pretty sure we're going to get an answer to this at some point.
Where do these necklaces come from?
The necklaces we carry today belong to the Foal Guards. We found them in old tombs and ruins. Crafting these necklaces is a lost art. Many have tried unlocking the secrets of forging one, but every attempt has failed. They are precious and rare, which is why each member of the Vigil passes the necklace to their next of kin.
Have I helped enough Hadeans?
Hadeans are lucky to have a Vigil like you watching over them.
Oh, we actually just get glyphs. Waves of Grief. Mechanic hold, no lock-on. A limbic energy cost per second, damage per second, and a range of 10 meters. Endless waves of grief energy spill out of your weapon, tormenting limbic entities with heavy sorrow. That sounds fun. Call of the Griffin, active relic. Use to tap to use, no lock-on required, 6-minute cooldown. I think the other one that we have already has as well. Plus 100% stamina recovery speed for 3 full minutes. Oh, no, yeah, 3 full minutes, yep. Fatigable. Indefatigable grit. Find yourself replete with boundless vigor, greatly increasing stamina regeneration. That could be very good. Another glyph. Shared pain. Another grief. Suffer waves of great sorrow, losing endurance in the process, but sharing the agony with nearby limbic entities and damaging them. Self-damage 500 per second, damage 230 per second. That is a lot of self-damage for questionable payoff. Pendant of Terror. More of the defensive gear. What were they called again? Most of them are they just defensive gear. Same damage absorption that we normally have and endurance bonus. It is grade 2, so that's why the numbers are bigger. And it reduces the cost of, well, limbic skills. Remaining undamaged will reduce the cost of limbic skills. Okay, not as ridiculously good as I expected, but still probably something to look at. Tuning Stone, steady. Experience bonus, grant experience to the currently wielded weapon. Okay, that solves one of my issues I had. Because I pointed out I crafted like 2 of the other weapons we have with the other glyphs, because I just with the other limbic spheres, because I just wanted to have access to them if we find cool glyphs to put in. The problem I just have is like I'm now getting used to the greatsword so much, and it is leveling up, and I don't really want to now use the much weaker weapons, so it's like if I actually find cool glyphs later on and I want to slot them in, even if I want to like keep the greatsword, I have to make another greatsword imbued with whatever limbic sphere I now need for the glyph. And how many things do I have to kill then to actually get this thing up to the same level as the greatsword I'm using right now? But this is how we can get materials for it. We can just do that. Now this is the first time we come across them, so I'm going to regard them as quite rare for now. But still, it does somewhat solve the issue. And another glyph. Masochistic Delight. Limbic Sphere Ecstasy. Tap to use, no lock-on required. Lot of damage. You revel in ecstatic pain as you willingly inflict damage upon yourself and share the blissful agony with all nearby limbic entities. Ah, but this one has only one damage number, so this one does the same to you and to enemies, as opposed to the other one we just read where it's more damage to you and like only nearly half that to enemies. Still, not sure I want to use things that damage myself that much. Okay, that's it. Now to the probably most important thing here.
This was in Pentos's coffin. What do you make of it?
This is what you found. That isn't very reassuring. More riddles. The scroll must be the key to solving the enigma. I recognize the old Hadean language. It died out centuries ago. It would be best to find someone who can translate it.
Aren't you the translator? God dang it.
Hadeans need to rejoin the world. Come to think of it, we've never been a part of it. Hadeans have been isolated for far too long. I believe the only way to end the calamity is to abandon Hadea. Leave and never return, Sabinian and Palamist alike.
Well, most people will probably not follow along with that.
The calamity is unique to Hadea. Why? What is it about Hadea that is so different from any other country? The answer is buried out there somewhere. We need to find it and stop it for good this time, or the cycle of destruction will continue. War is beyond tragedy, a senseless waste of human life and potential, and sadly, Hadea is no stranger to it. We haven't seen a conflict in over 1,000 years.
Huh. I expected that over the last 1,000 years there have been multiple conflicts. I mean, with how much both sides are angry at each other, I just expected that they have constant struggles. But you're saying no. That's interesting. So it's only like the stories of past generation passed down again and again and again, that it has people actually believing that the other side is like bad, evil, they do things and whatnot. Like, that's very interesting.
In fact, we haven't seen a war this brutal before. Modern guns, mixed with hatred passed on from one generation to the next, are bound for terrible consequences.
Yeah, but where does that hatred come from? 1,000 years with this kind of hatred, and you tell me there has not been conflict?
This is why the Vigil doubled its efforts when war loomed on the horizon, and also why the Vigil is being hunted. When desperate, we tend to make mistakes and expose ourselves. I'll never ascribe to the theory that the Vigil has a traitor within its ranks. Never.
Well, another thing we will figure out. Probably.
I don't know much about the Peacekeepers. In a way, they are like the Vigil. They help the victims of war and ensure their care. Nothing wrong with that. However, unlike us, they operate in the open, which has certain disadvantages. It's like having a target painted on your back. I wish them the best of luck.
Which is probably also somewhat connected to the scene that Atticus described, where it's like the peacekeepers just watched. It's like, well, if they openly challenge a military, even if they can in that moment, in this specific place, through force, actually win the fight, in the future that's just going to make it much more difficult for them to actually help a lot of extra people. Because now they, well, as he just said, they paint a target on their back. It's like, if you operate out in the open like that, especially in war times, yeah, if you step on the wrong people's toes, that's not gonna end well. Now, since we don't know the full extent of what really happened, we only have Atticus, what he says about it. So, how much are the peacekeepers actually to blame for not helping, and was there something else going on? We don't know. It's just all always very unfun. No happiness here.
Technically, I am Sabinian. I don't count myself as one, though. I am a Vigil, first and foremost. I was born and raised in the small village of Teden. It's in the north of Asteria. I went to school just like the other Sabinian kids, but during the small hours, I trained. I barely had friends growing up, but that didn't matter. The life of a Vigil is lonely and hard. I was always the outsider looking in. I observed my friends and neighbors all bickering about the Palamists. Let's just say I had other things on my mind than to hate an entire group of people. That always bothered me to my core. I wish I could have told them all to stop, to tell the truth, and to warn them of the real threat. I'm afraid they were too far gone, as if their hatred were a terminal sickness.
Well, that's what it partially looks like, right? The creatures potentially are born out of the bad emotions of humans. The time loops that seem to sustain them, from what he just said. Well, not just right now, but from something at the start where he explained time loops. It seems that they exist only through moments of, well, pain and suffering. So potentially there is something going on here that actually makes people hate each other so much. Which also would partially explain as to how does war happen when there's, like, again, 1,000 years of no conflict and suddenly there's this much hatred of these two groups against each other. So there's something going on probably that we don't know about, and that also the Vigil doesn't seem to fully know yet.
I have no ill feelings toward the Palamists. They are dyed-in-the-wool Hadeans. Do you know the saying, the way to a dog's heart is through his stomach?
Well, we know a saying that is a bit different, but yeah.
Well, the way to a Palamist's heart is through his faith. Threaten that, and you will have a devoted enemy pitted against you. The propagandists played the religion card, fear-mongering the Palamists into believing that the Sabinians were going to take their faith away. And now look at us, divided and broken. It's deplorable. The time loops appeared at midnight on January 1st, and the creatures soon after. This isn't the first time this phenomenon has occurred in Hadia. You would think we would all be experts by now, but we're piecing together some lost history. Somehow this vital information has slipped through the cracks. We are uncertain if January 1st at midnight is genuinely part of the cycle. Is it consistent or random? We are plagued by many of these questions. With our lack of answers, we could do little to prevent the calamity. Only brace for it. Now that it is upon us, only one question remains. Who or what is creating the time loops?
Yeah. That, I think, is the most important thing to figure out. Because whatever the answer to that is the source of it all. Okay. We got a good chunk of grief abilities, glyphs to slot in. And we have something more to do. Go back to the APC, to Tanya, which I feel like is just the best thing to do right now. But we finally have some explanation about the Vigil, what they're doing, what they're trying to do, what they're about, where they come from a little bit. I am questioning all of these symbols though, because again, we only saw limbic spheres of 4 of these. What about the others? What kind of purpose or potential, well, meaning in the grand scheme of things do they hold? Maybe we will figure it out. Maybe they're just something else about the Fall Guards that they just... No, again, I think they grouped the same, like, together, like they were downstairs. So I definitely think that there is something about them that we just don't know yet. Okay, back to the APC. Actually... Guessing she's inside. Actually, time loop. Should we do this one or should we do the other one? I am going to take this one because we are in the area. Okay, we're at the time loop. Let's see.
There they are! There they are! There they are! There they are! There they are!
Oh. Those look similar to what I jokingly described as crop circles in the camp in Sinedra Forest. So, is that camp built on an old site where a time loop in the past was closed? And also we have ON soldiers protecting a family against the other side in the war. Keys on ON vehicle. Several keys of a keychain featuring an ON emblem. Found in the corpse of an ON soldier in Visa Hills. Oh, well, we know where we have to go with that one. Be right back. Actually, I'm somewhat disappointed that these times don't like have boss fights or something in them. As much as this is a Souls-like and the combat is mostly fine, it is here and there a bit janky, and I do actually think that it's a bit sad that we mostly have just normal enemies and not something more. Now, I shouldn't speak too soon. Potentially they have some at some point. But right now I'm just like, I don't know. I kind of wished we had some more special fights. I mean, we had that one Hollow Walker who had 2 hazes, so I guess we do have some more special fights here and there, just in a different way. Here you go.
Are these the keys to the ON truck? Where on earth did you find them?
That is a very good question that I don't think I can answer.
This is great news. I'll head back to the camp and tell the others. We're getting out of here. Thank you so much for your help. I'll gather everyone at the camp and leave for Sinedra Forest as soon as possible.
Are you going back home?
Yes. I can't wait to see my pops again. But more importantly, these people need a safe place to stay.
Good. We're going to check on you. Well, maybe we'll quickly look if we can get a reward for this. Now that I think about it, that is going to be annoying, actually. To always have to go back here. I hope we can at some point unlock a way that the APC can stand here or some other fast travel to this place. I don't always have what I have to be like, oh, and now we go back all the way over the travel map, run through this entire area, and then come back here.
Remember, whenever you accomplish good deeds and close time loops, talk to me to see if you are worthy of a reward.
Well, have I helped enough Haitians?
The bare minimum will only get you so much.
But I still actually get something. Vanquishing an enemy will restore your health and stamina. 10%. More defensive gear. This one... I mean, there's a lot of enemies, actually, now that I think about it. This might not be that bad, but then again, we're mostly full health anyway.
What's our status on time loops?
Good. You closed a few of them. I'm sure there are more out there.
A few? One. More of the tuning stones. Glyph, interrupt, neutral. Tap to use, no lock-on. Blast of limbic energy stuns any limbic entities in front of you for 2 seconds. The Blood Queen's Phalanx. Old way of spelling phalanx? Passive relic, Conqueror's Essence. Grow bolder in your victories, increasing damage dealt for each enemy vanquished. That does not have any stats on it. How much are we talking for? And, like, for how long? Is this, like, for a moment? Damage bonus after parry. I forgot to equip that. And this is melee damage plus 25% for 30 seconds. This will sometimes be fine and sometimes not so much. This is probably always functioning. I mean, damage bonus after parry plus 200% for 10 seconds. That's not even just for like the riposte or one attack. That could be a lot of things. Yeah, I'm taking that. And maybe instead of the extra little bit of health, we're going with the stamina recovery. So far not really. Maybe. I have to see. So far none of these really sound that super interesting. Now though, back to the APC. And let's see what Tanya has for us.
You really should lock your doors before leaving.
Yep, there was no need to before.
Now this is an ideal vehicle to roam a war-torn country. It's even got cup holders. Do you realize what you have here?
It gets me where I need to go.
It's a state-of-the-art armored personnel carrier with tech I didn't even know existed. I had fun pressing all the buttons.
Was there a mute button?
Smart ass. Do you want to know what I found or not?
Tell me.
This computer is linked to something called the Zeal server. I came across that name before. The Zeal Council. I have no idea who or what they are.
And?
This server appears to have a vast database containing history of Hadia. As of now, I only have limited access. Give me some time and I'm sure I can get through to more.
Interesting.
When Vitalis contacted me, he told me he wanted...
Whatever deal you had with Vitalis, it died along with him.
I'm sorry you lost your friend.
Don't be. I didn't know him.
Whatever the Vigil is up to, it's on you now, right? I want to piece together whatever is happening here, and you want to stop it. Neither of us can do this on our own. I found a tracking device embedded behind a panel. I know I don't look it, but I have my uses. Face it, you wouldn't have gotten far without me.
All right. You can tag along.
Good. Show me what you found in the coffin. Interesting. Let's talk about the scroll once I'm done examining it.
New interaction available. Research. You can now bring research items to Tanya to learn more about Hadia and to uncover vaults of forbidden knowledge. Have we seen some of those vaults? Is that potentially the one puzzle with the 4 pillars and the symbols that I so far had no idea what to do with? Well then.
Okay, I finished examining the scroll.
Why are you in Hadia?
If someone were to say I was obsessed with Hadia, it would be the understatement of the year. I've always wanted to see it with my own eye. Something has been happening here for a very long time. There is a dark secret, and the world hasn't been told.
And how do you know about it? We're gonna go with the general knowledge first and then ask about the story progression.
My obsession with Hadia started when I was a little girl. My father, a well-respected ambassador at the time, had successfully negotiated a visit to Hadia. When he returned, he told me about the time he spent here. He told me about their customs, unique religion, strange architecture, culture, which were unlike anything he had seen. Hadia had been completely closed off from the rest of the world for centuries. I was hooked. When I became a journalist, I wanted the scoop on this place. I almost got an exclusive interview with the dictator, Garion Yankel. I've covered countless conflicts, gone after the powerful, exposed corruption. Now that I'm actually in Hadia, I have to admit, I think I finally bit off more than I can chew. While crossing Hadia, Agatha and I got stopped at a checkpoint. While waiting for our paperwork to clear, I conversed with one of the Palamist officers. Once the small talk was over, he told me about what he had done in the village not too far from where we were. He was explaining to me, in striking detail, all the atrocities he had committed that morning. I don't know why he was telling me all of this. Did he want to impress me, scare me, or confess to his crimes? All of the above? Horrifying as his anecdotes were, what terrifies me the most was that this monster was as normal as they came. He was a husband, a father of 2, and a school teacher. If he was capable of committing such atrocities, we all are.
That is probably the biggest lesson we have to learn from things like war. We can all do good things, but we can also all do terrible things. It only takes a few of us to do terrible things enough that it's suddenly it gets put onto your entire culture or something. If you just do something that is so terrible that enough people know about it, now it's not just you. Now a lot of other people will also that just have very, very slim connections to you. Now they are also all going to be thrown in there. But yeah, we can all be terrible. And we should all think about that sometimes when we do certain things.
It's a great idea that's poorly executed. I think they get a bad rap, even though I've seen them do plenty of good. Peacekeepers have an impossible job. Each time they intervene, they've been set up to fail. And Hadia is no different.
Set up by whom? Just by the general idea of their mission and the nigh impossible, well, in this case the social conflicts, that is just not solvable? Or is there actually someone sending them out to only places like this where there's no hope of actually helping anyone really? Because the cycle of violence just holds everything and everyone in its grip, and there's no escaping it, no matter how much outside help you really give these people.
No, they are akin to the Protestants back home. At first glance, they bear historical resemblances. They sought a less restrictive faith and crafted one, essentially retaining the core of Palam's teachings. I'm not one to oversimplify, but there it is. Ask me again when I have more information about Sabinians and if we ever survive Hadia. Mind you, I came to these conclusions purely through observations. I haven't done any proper research. They strike me as being like conservatives in the most Western countries. Again, these are just observations. I need more time and research to formulate an adequate answer or opinion. I'll never erase that night from my memory. The moment I laid eyes on them, I became unhinged. Agatha had to steady me. She was as shocked as I was. She handled it a lot better than I did. When I finally regained my composure, I gazed into Agatha's eyes. In those few seconds, everything she had been taught since childhood was validated. It was all real. I'm at a loss for what to make of them. I bombarded Agatha with questions, but she knew little. She said that this wasn't the first time they had invaded Hadia. My instincts are screaming that there is a conspiracy at work here. Someone is orchestrating this, and I will blow it wide open.
Well, on to the definitely more direct questions. A lot of this is... well, social conflict always is a bit difficult to really get behind who's wrong and who's right, especially if there's a lot of history. So then, Blue Flower Scroll.
So, what's written on the scroll?
I translated the text. It's a riddle. I suggest you read it. I'm sure it will make more sense once we find a location. As for the blue flower, the Zeal server is giving me the usual encyclopedic answer. It's not providing me with a specific location. The drawings are landmarks, and the blue flower is the key to finding their location. Whatever this place is, it's a well-guarded secret. I'm sure it holds the clues to Vitalis' investigation into stopping the calamity. I think it's time for you to chat with the locals. Talking isn't your strong suit, but someone must know where this flower grows.
Where the blue flowers grow, below the limbic fire's glow.
What should I do now?
Someone must know where this blue flower grows. It might be best if you talk to the locals.
Well, we have a new thing to do. There was a lot this episode of exploring, but also explanation of certain things. We have now figured out about the Vigil, what they're up to, who they really are, that they also don't really know anything. They're piecing it together themselves, hoping that they can unveil enough to stop the calamity. We know that there probably is something behind the calamity that's actually making it happen. Do we have anything for you?
Have you found something of interest?
I don't know. Oh, all of these things that I was like, what the hell do I do with these? Oh, this is gonna be good. Well, one after another.
Interesting find. Let's see what the server can tell us about it.
Research an ancient censer. This ornate bronze ritual censer is believed to have been involved in the foundation of the Illigat Conclave, a grand unification of the desperate Hassalian tribes. 7 censers were created and offered to representatives from each tribe. On each was etched the emblem of the conclave alongside the tribe's own emblem. The markings on this particular censer identify it as belonging to the Suru tribe. We have not heard anything about that before. During the unification ceremony, a mixing of incense was performed to symbolize the varied beliefs and rites of the 7 tribes, coming together as one. And if we inspect it, we can just look at it again. Okay. The bonds of bronze acorns.
Nice find. Let's run it through the database.
This box contains hundreds of bronze acorns, likely taken from Palomist civilians. The acorn is an object of great spiritual significance for the Palomist faith. It has come to symbolize traditional values such as community, faith, responsibility. It is the fruit of the hazel pine tree, which is prevalent all over Hadia and a fixture of the Week of Peace celebrations. The acorn is always carried on one's person. Most would attach it to a keychain or purse string, or simply loose in a pocket. In ages past, Palomists would carry organic acorns plucked directly from a hazel pine. In the modern age, imitation acorns are cast in bronze to improve durability, though many staunch traditionalists still carry natural acorns.
Let's see what the Zeal server has to say about this one.
Oh, the bronze eye headpiece. The worship of Sephiris dates back nearly 10,000 years, during which many rites, tenets, ceremonies and symbols have come and gone. This bronze cast eye is one of the earliest known representations of the Eye of Sephiris, the precursor to all modern iconography depicting the eye. It was likely attached to a ceremonial staff or scepter used by the early holy men circa 3000 BC, when Sephirism was beginning to evolve into an organized religion. So with headpiece, it doesn't mean a headpiece for you to wear like a hat, it means the top piece of, again, the staff. Okay.
Interesting find. Let's see what the server can tell us about it.
Eminous Shroud Blueprints. The deteriorated page bears the emblem of the Order of the Eye, circa 700 AD. It was likely torn from a larger manuscript. The text and designs are almost illegible, but they outline what appears to be a truly massive contraption. Could this be the so-called Eminous Shroud? The device was part of the Order's grand plan to extend the Eye of God's influence. It is referenced in many Order documents dating from the same era. There is no way to discern its inner workings from the page, as the schematics are too faded and likely incomplete. Judging by sheer size and complexity, it would have been a colossal undertaking. It doesn't say anything about how large the thing is. What are we talking about? Does this have any... It seems to have them down there, actually, but they are written in the Hadean language that we can't read. So who knows how big this thing is supposed to be. But yeah, it's like a colossal undertaking. It looks like it's just very finely crafted artisanship. But yeah, the more you look at it, the more like it has like a lot of layers. This is... If you make this incredibly small, it would have been nigh impossible to make, so yeah, this would need some size, at least as big as this APC that we're currently in, to even have enough space that you can put all of these little ornaments in there.
Nice find. Let's run it through the database.
Order of the Eye Medallion. This gold medallion once belonged to a founding member of the Order of the Eye. It depicts the moment that the 8 scholars rediscovered the Eye of God. They were said to have dropped to their knees in awe at the sight of such a marvel. 8 matching medallions were commissioned to commemorate the momentous event, one for each member. 8. That is an interesting number because we saw the 8 knights in the paintings in the Pentos tomb, but and again, they're paired in always one of the limbic spheres and something else. So maybe these 8, if we figure something else out, if we get to some other parts, 8 could be a very, very interesting number. I think we should look out for that.
Good find. I'll look it up.
Evil Massacre Ribbon. The ribbon was worn by Palamas citizens in remembrance of the Iligat pilgrimage massacre. Following the events of Phineas Bizima's speech in Evil that left the city in ruins and hundreds of Palamas rioters dead, all of Hadia was on edge as they struggled with the aftermath. News media covered the events in drastically different ways, with Sabinian sources calling it the Pilgrim Riots and Palamas sources calling it the Iligat Pilgrimage Massacre. It only served to further divide the already fractured nation and incite tensions to all-time highs. In the months that follows, the simple act of wearing the ribbon was considered an instigation to violence, as fights would regularly break out at the mere sight of it. I think this is very interesting, because again, just as... I forgot his name already. Gildas. Gildas said that there wasn't really conflict, and I'm like, I mean, this is categorized as belonging to the Civil War, so it was just before, it was in the modern times. This is only like a few years ago or something, but still, why would some pilgrimage happen to become a massacre or a riot? There has to be something driving that. Going back to
I
that,
discovered a vault of forbidden knowledge in Senator Forest.
I know what that is about. Oh, that's the thing we found on, at least I think it is probably. We needed 4 symbol codes for the thing at the camp that I didn't find in the demo, but I found in this playthrough. It has limbic sphere symbols and others on them. Okay. So maybe I'm opening that at the end of this episode or next one. But this is good.
Nice. I'll have a look in the database.
Lost Temple Bell of Palom. This bell once hung prominently in the Grand Temple of Palom alongside 7 others. More about the number 8. Shortly after its foundation, the Iligat Conclave constructed the temple complex to become the beating heart of Sephirism. Each bell was assigned to a high priest of Palom, and only those who carried the bell were allowed to behold the Eye of God deep beneath Mount Obek. After Sabinian reformists descended upon the Iligat Valley to sack and raze the temple in 403 AD, all but one of the bells were thought lost to looting and flames. The surviving bell remains in the reconstructed temple to this day as one of Palomism's most cherished artifacts. Again, giving us much more of like, there has been conflict. A lot. In ancient times, all the time. I mean, 403 AD. No, AD is after, right? So, this is more modern. When does this take place? Because we have a lot of references, mostly through Tanya now, that indicate that it is somewhat stationed in a modern world, or at least the 20th century, or at the end of the 20th century or something. So I don't know. maybe the 1,000 years of no war, of no problems, of no conflict might actually be true, and this is before all that. But that makes it even weirder, right? Because that would mean there was these kinds of conflicts. Then it suddenly stopped, and now it just fully erupted, like with a hatred burning so deep from all those times before, even though it's so long ago. That makes it even more suspicious that there's something else going on.
Interesting. I'll look it up.
Omsiv poison syringe. The syringe is filled with a highly toxic compound developed by the Cerebrum Division of Operation Moloch. We do have no information of any of these, so this might make more sense later. The compound is based on a hybrid of tetrodotoxin and a specifically formulated limbic serum. The serum is added to act as a catalyst that enhances the neural inhibitive properties and subsequently decomposes the toxin into its inert constituent elements. Those were our words. The nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen are absorbed by the vascular system, leaving no trace. The poison is used by Omsiv agents for high-profile assassinations when discretion is needed. A highly efficient killer. And it is in the category The Vigil, so... yeah, the Black Soldiers are definitely not our friends. Omsiv, whatever they are definitely our enemies.
Nice find. Let's run it through the database.
Vial of limbic material. This sealed vial contains a sample of limbic material harvested from a limbic entity by the investigating Omsiv field team. The substance is rather curious, halfway between solid and liquid. It seems to shimmer and shift when viewed from different angles. One of the secondary objectives of Omsiv field teams is to gather objects of interest and forward the materials to science teams for analysis. It's in the category The Conspiracy. I mean, so far everything feels like a conspiracy, right? Something is pulling the strings for all of the bad things to happen in this game. One other thing that actually, now that I think of, is very interesting is, if the Omsiv people, they know about the limbic entities and and other things. They literally set up a research camp and they talked about anomalies and whatnot in Sinatra Forest. We have seen their notes. But they had, at least we found one person actually still being alive and another person being dead who had limbic weapons. We found them inside of the ruins. Did they find the weapons in there, or did they, again with them being the enemies of the Vigil, did they kill Vigil members and took their weapons? Which also could explain why they died so much, because they just didn't have the proper training to use them against the limbic entities. But still, I'm questioning, do future Omsiv field teams, I'm going to assume we're going to run into that. There is still a person who wants their APC back, so we're going to have a confrontation with them at some point. I'm just questioning, will they use the limbic weapons or will they just shoot us? They probably will just shoot us, right? I don't think they're going to carry much of these...
Good find. I'll look it up.
Vigil Trial Candle. The candle once served in a recruitment trial for the Vigil. Around 1850 AD, after centuries of dwindling membership due to the strict family-only limitations, the Vigil finally opened recruitment to outsiders. Promising young prospects were scouted and approached to take part in the Vigil trial. The trial was meant to test the candidates' autonomy, vigilance, and resourcefulness. It involved the candidate being sent out into the wild with nothing but this candle. They were to return in 1 week's time, passing the trial only if their candle was still burning. That's kinda ridiculous. Was this also about the test and the trial chamber we opened in Nakasa Marshes? It has something to do with that? I think we found this inside of that. It was a training ground. Okay, nothing more. Well, I think that is best to leave it off here. I'm going to next try my luck with the vault in Sinatra Forest, if we can actually open it. And after that, we're going to just talk to every NPC again. First and foremost, I think the priest probably can give us some answers. And then we're gonna see where we can... well, where the journey takes us. Until now, hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day. Till next time.